It's 7:07, so we'll start the Facilities Committee meeting. I'm your chairperson, JP Prego. Craig Howard, our Director of Facilities Operations. Keith McCarrick, Trina Scharschmidt, committee members. I got there eventually. Drew Bishop, our Business Administrator. We have Melanie Cunningham, our Board President here, and our Superintendent, Dr. Alan Roach, sitting in. So we'll start with the, can I get a motion for the acceptance of the minutes from February 26th?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. On to old business. High school pool survey.
That was completed, okay, yes, sir. That was completed by the structural engineer. Survey was given to you guys as far as for you guys' review. We're going to plans in the future for future planning at new high school reservations due to the fact that the survey stated that the structure of the pool is good for 2 to 3 years.
So it's going into the
The
wish list, or is it?
Is it something that we want to concentrate on for high school renovations? Because that's not something I'm sure that we want to do right now. Unless- Yes, ma'am. Ms.
We-
Miller.
Finance says no.
So,
Not today. Finance.
I would defer any work on that unless emergency repairs are needed for something.
Yeah. We have enough stuff
We
that
don't
are,
know what's we're going to do with that building.
and we have enough stuff that's
Yes,
failing now or needs immediate attention
yes.
and,
regardless.
and the pool, like we said, is in good structural shape, 2 to 3 years. We did a lot of work on there in the summertime as far as doing some things, so she's okay for right now.
Yeah, that's, I agree.
Upgrades and improvements at the Ed Center. We're still waiting on materials, 2 doors, but we was able to get the sliding door installed. If you guys saw it last week, I don't know if you guys saw, it, but we was able to get the sliding door installed over there at the, at our, what's that area called?
Reception area,
Reception
yeah.
area, there you go, yes. So I'm looking at the second week of April for our 2 doors to show up for our conference rooms, and Brian will be working that on the weekend, so don't disturb anything during the week.
Great.
And that's the in-house job.
Can that be considered overtime for that?
No, Brian, what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna switch this day, so coming on Monday or Tuesday, he'll just, take off that day.
As long as he's happy with it.
Yeah, he's happy with it.
And that's
Yeah.
kosher, that's allowed?
I mean, it's,
Generally, yes.
usually,
Okay.
I've paid employees and you can change your schedules
Right.
to meet the needs of the business.
these are the district, yes, yes,
Just
yes.
asking.
Mhm.
No, it's understandable. I
Plus,
don't want to get
he
into,
Plus, he wants to
Right,
take
I
2 weeks.
don't want
now, if we ordered him to do it on the weekend, that'd be a different story.
No, he volunteered for that.
That's
to, and Roach is gonna help too, because,
No, I'll be here doing that. That'll be me. That'll be me.
Get that damn paintbrush.
Feasible study standing item, followed up with a top 10 list. I know you guys saw the top 10 list.
yeah.
Some of the things that we discussed were, the site survey was conducted on March 6th to assess the situation. Following the visit, they are working on the scope, work/pricing, replacement of the wastewater tank. I spoke to Rob today briefly. Rob has all the information that we need, so I will be receiving a quote for that today. Well, I'm sorry, tomorrow. So, yes. He just have a couple of questions for me. I'll get back to him first thing in the morning, and we should be able to solidify on how much that's gonna cost and what we're looking at as far as scope of work.
This is,
For Marlboro wastewater tank,
Marlboro Road tank, okay.
the high school district-wide abatement. I also received that quote today from Barrett and Associates. Me and Dr. Andrea is looking over that. The number kind of blew her mind, but she was expecting the number 2 behind. So that's something that we're gonna discuss on next facilities meeting, because she's gonna have some grant information for us and different things in that aspect. So we'll have more information on that in the direction that we're going, that you guys would like us to start looking at.
Okay.
So I did have to walk through the high school with the abatement project. Who's conducting that is TRC. TRC does all our abatement work as far as when they come out, they do, our hair every 6 months to give us our reports. So they're very much familiar with everything that we need, because they look at it and report back to us on what we have to do. So we believe in letting the best be the best, and right now, they're the best thing out there. So we'll have that scope very soon, and we'll have that for next meeting.
Well, the challenges we missed last summer is any sort of abatement at the high school with the transition, I think, with Mr. Kenwood and Mr. Howard, and that didn't quite get done, so it's actually pretty easy for them because the error report hasn't changed.
Yep.
Because there's been no remediation, so.
My paper signs the abatements for the high school and the 4-5, or no?
District-wide.
Well, there is some abatement at 4-5, I believe still needs to be done.
So what you're talking about here that TRC is gonna do, you just went through high school.
I went through all of it.
You did?
District-wide. TRC, when they come and do our hair report, they do all the schools.
Okay.
Maybe Hereford as well.
Yes.
I think Hereford as well.
Yeah. And Hartford doesn't have that much. Hartford was surprising. Hartford was the least amount surprising. Yeah.
So do we have, or do they have a deadline for when we have to tell them we want them to do the work in order not to miss the summer window?
Now, we communicate with them, this is gonna be ESSER funds, so they're just waiting on us. So once
But if they,
It
if
can't be
we,
June, it's gotta be as soon as it.
Right.
I don't know if he would know it's a better deadline.
they didn't really put that, restriction on us yet. When I speak to TRC, and after I speak to Dr. Angela, me and her will meet tomorrow to go over the scope and the quote at TRC,
okay.
and then we'll go from there, so I will reach out to you like that.
Well, you're meeting with Dr. Frey to help map out the information she heard at the previous finance committee meeting where it was submit for the grant. So
Yeah.
that's the work some of the information that's there. But that's no guarantee on that, that's just a submission and a request for grant work.
That's a bunch of fingers crossed.
Right, well, that will, once the.
Hey, when's that grant be?
I don't know, yeah, she would have the dates, I know, one of them was a little
I think
later.
at the end of May.
Yeah. But
Okay.
But then then that pushing us past the date for TRC? If we have to
I
wait
don't-
till the end of
that's a
May?
question we have to
Yeah,
answer.
we have to ask them,
April,
get that
for the
information,
final
yeah.
point, over here, as we're sitting here at the end of May, sorry, end of March. April may be the due date, or, because it takes crews to come in time.
Yep.
Because the plan is hopefully that we can have it done.
Fortunately, with the way that the end of the school year is finishing up, should be a longer summer in
Sure.
terms of finishing up the first week as opposed to the second. So that would help a little bit.
The last time. Yep.
To do the work, that's
Right.
less time to
Yeah.
To
get the team
Yeah.
squared away.
Right.
Agreed, I understand what JP's asking.
So I'll definitely have that information for you.
Yeah. Okay.
The roofing at the 4 or 5 in the high school, continued discussion with the facilities committee regarding the next steps. So we know that the high school with the Fs, the 2 Fs, the 3 Fs that we have at the high school, and the 2 Fs that we have at the 4 or 5. I don't know how you guys would like to approach as far as renovation work, or are we continuing with some high school, maybe doing some roofing work this summer? Especially in that one area that's really bad, because I actually took a walk down there with Brian today, and just that whole part of that, in the area where not Bobby's office, that hallway all the way down to where, right before you hit the door, before you walk out of that trainer's room, it's,
Do you know the section number for that? 20, 19, 18, 17, 14, 13? It's gotta be one of those.
I do.
So you know what?
It was actually 18, it's actually the most cost-effective one, unfortunately. That's the one that's
Melanie will pay for it.
that's the one that's in worse shape, unfortunately.
Big sales.
That's the one that sags and, like you can, you know what I'm saying, so you can like really like wave a little bit on that. It's dangerous. But yeah, it's number 18. I believe.
774,600
Yeah, it's
to
large.
replace.
That's that whole section. Yes.
But that was also, as far as the roofing goes, we were
It's part of
looking
the
at,
SS funds as well.
and then the public school facility improvement grant.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we have two things working there for that.
so I guess we need to know when they're gonna come back in, if they do,
Mhm.
that would help.
And that's what me and Dr. Ayers are gonna sit and talk about, because
Okay.
she's the mastermind behind all of these grants and different things like that.
Yep.
Putting everything together, and once I sit with her and we discuss on what we're moving forward and what we actually got, then we can bring it to you guys and we can talk about it. on how we want to move forward.
I would also want to know if it needs to take place during the summer, is that something, like, how long would it take? And can school function while it's being done? Like, I kind of would like to
Yeah.
know
Oh,
the
definitely.
answers to those questions.
Definitely.
Big questions, yep.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you on that because, because just in case we got to make some type of
Because $750,000 of roof is an extensive project.
extensive project, right?
Mhm.
Huge, yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Biggest issue would be if they have to take it down to like rafters.
Yeah.
If they don't have to take
Exposing.
up the underlayment, you know, they can pretty much do that. They should
On
be
the
able to pretty
outside.
much do that
Mhm.
anytime during the year.
That's what I was thinking.
That's a hot problem, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the people who Doug had out knows everything. So they
Yeah.
know how to attack it. We'll put a plan together, even if it's during the school year or during the summer. My goal is to have a certain amount done during the summer, to where we go into the school year, to where we have a certain amount to where it's not interrupting anything.
Right, it's on the outside.
Right?
Yep.
So, you know,
And you
so-
still have a couple months on the
Yes.
outside. Yep.
So we get to the core of the problem in June, July, and August, and then September, we can work on it from the outside up, to where it's not affecting any school or anything like that. But that's an excellent question, I would definitely have that for you.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
well, we have data that it needs to be done. So that part's not really a question.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think more of it ties into if we are gonna do high school renovations,
Yeah.
we don't wanna do the work twice,
No, we don't,
No.
so like,
so.
And also, one thing about, well, mobilizing the team, as long as you know where we're going in direct, same thing like from Marlboro, you know, I had to do there. You know what we had to do, we had a direction, and we move forward, plan it and execute, so. That's definitely a standing conversation, I would definitely do that with you guys on the next facilities meeting, have some more information on that.
Okay.
Monthly security report, Cardinals Point, we're pretty much good there. Little bit of fluctuation, but with guards coming in and out, some leaving and some not, but we're pretty much solid there. We haven't really missed a beat.
So we have, since the last meeting, has anybody resigned or have we replaced anybody?
We
Like in
replaced
the
it.
past month?
Well, this week on Wednesday, 2 actually resigning, and they have their replacements there. So
Where are they
they're
resigning from?
From high school and middle school, unfortunately.
Actually, the middle school person's back.
The middle school came back?
Jason's back.
Oh, Jason came back,
He
okay.
went to his new job and realized it
That I did not know.
wasn't a connection with the kids that he was expecting.
So that's good then. So we're losing one then. We're losing one person, yes. Excellent.
It's good to have the continuity of the people too.
Yep.
Excellent news.
Okay.
All right. So new business, change order, request for high school softball protective netting project. Administrative recommends moving forward with the change order to get the safety netting properly placed along the retention base area.
So I know, I think Melanie, you saw it.
Yes.
Karina, I think you did too. Al and I walked it down the other day. I think I know we already went through finance committee and they already said
It's
yes.
okay, yeah.
But, you know, like I said, we're trying to do the dual committee.
The real
approval.
due recommendation.
I don't know,
Yep.
did you get to see it, Keith?
I didn't get to see it,
Okay.
I'm sure that, 3 out of 4.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does make
It's kind of
sense. We're-
bisecting a big area, a wide area, it's bisecting it when it
Mhm.
should
Right.
be making the whole, as much area as we can get out
Will
of
it
it.
work? Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's not
but it's gonna
right.
look dumb.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's short-term, long-term, that's the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
Will it work? Yes. Will it meet OCR?
Yeah.
Most likely,
Mhm.
I think so.
Probably.
But
Yeah.
I think it's not where it was intended, and that's the information. And we went back and met with the guy, and some acknowledgements on both sides of trying to get it right, and misunderstanding, or whatever it was, on a day where nobody was here, so that's where we are. I presented all the information.
Yeah, it
to you
looks
guys.
beautiful, otherwise the rest of it is
Oh, yeah.
amazing. My daughter played softball, so I can remember slogging in the mud
We
down
cleaned
there.
everything in the back of all the debris and everything, so everything is clear back.
Yeah, when Mrs. Sarsmith and myself and Mrs. Cunningham were there, the tree was ground down, all that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, awesome.
So,
Now.
I'm sorry, two things on that.
Yeah, of course.
The first is, I think we're in agreement that we want to have this on the agenda.
yeah.
We agree with the finance committee
Yeah.
to spend money to fix this? Okay. So then the second part of this is that, this is an expensive lesson learned thing. where we didn't have the right kind of documentation in place to make sure that there was agreement upon the two parties of where exactly this was gonna be put. The next big thing we're doing is the fencing,
Right.
fencing projects. Do we have approved, agreed upon drawings, layouts of where all this fencing is gonna go, so we
Yes.
don't get hit with any
We do.
surprises
And what I
there?
can do is I can email you everything. So yes, we do.
Eventually, you can email me.
Maybe you can email.
I can email, I can email that. I can email, Drew can email, I'll email you that. I can email you that this evening as soon as I get home. Yes, we do have other layouts and plans for that. That's something that was, that was something that I had started, so I finished it from the beginning to the end. The softball field was a little bit different, you know what I mean, it was something me coming into, things was already discussed, so it was just a little bit transactional. So just a little bit confusion on the side of what was discussed before I was there. But on the fence part, me and Dr. Allen worked together on that as well, and also I work on the contractor, so.
As I requested, let's make sure we have a Google map.
Yep, and I have
And
it.
not a Craig Howard special.
Oh, no, not a Craig Howard special?
I see.
Napkin special?
I'm saying, you showed me the water issue at the other.
See, but he
building.
teases me about that, and then I fixed that, and I showed him the map. It's always good fun. He is-
Lots of catch up
You
is.
should see him in the admin meetings, he's on in the admin meetings. On it. Marlboro well pump repair follow-up, so I'm sure everybody know what happened at Marlboro. We lost pressure over there one day during school, called the boss man, let him know what was going on. We was able to mobilize the crew out the next day. The piping that we had in there was old galvanized piping, 30 years old. So it had a lot of holes and a lot of leaks, and the water was going everywhere instead of where it should have gone. So we replaced it with high, strong PVC.
Okay.
So we replaced everything. I replaced the piping, the pump, we did all the new wiring, and everything is perfect now. We was able to get the water pressure to where it needs to be. Our reserve tank is filling up to where we're actually saving money now because we're holding water longer when they're using it, instead of we're constantly running the motor and the pump to pump more water out the well. So our reserve tank is holding longer now, and everything seems to be, much in order, and everybody's happy.
So we had slow leaks before, we're thinking, and then now it's just let go, and we had
Yeah,
the.
we had about 18, 19 weeks.
Jeez.
I have the pictures. Yeah. So it was just-
Send those along too?
Yeah, it was
You
just
can
some,
email
it was just
them.
something that needed to be done, and we caught it, and we was
30
able
years
to,
is 30 years.
and we was able to turn it around within less than 24 hours to get the school back open and everybody back to where they needed to be.
Yeah,
So is there-
that's good.
We're outside the building, in the ground.
Yes, yes. Mhm.
And the pump's okay?
Pump's good.
So no, there was some question about the
Pump is
pump
good.
itself.
Well, we did some rewiring on the pump, so we got a new pump.
So we have a new pump.
We got a new pump as well. New pump and new piping. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what
I was shocked to see duct tape on the pipe. But Mr. Howard assured me it wasn't for the holes, it was to secure the wire going down the side.
He did say that.
I saw all
He did
8
say
pipes
that.
come out of the ground, and saw them all sitting there with duct tape.
Wow. What is our duct tape budget?
Yeah.
It was a contract.
Just to secure the wire along there.
They had the flex tape, that's what they need.
Right.
Yeah, Flex Seal.
You,
There.
when me and Dr. Allen was there, Dr. Allen said, well, where's the motor? You're thinking of a motor of a well, you're thinking of a huge motor. The motor was like it was narrow like a narrow pencil.
Mhm.
Yep, and then all the piping sits on top of it. I learned something that day too. So we had to take the wiring to go all the way up to the top. So while we're dropping the piping down, the wire stays up. So we're wiring the motor on top and then putting the canopy back over with the lid. Well, I learned something that
I'm
day.
familiar with that.
I figured you would be,
Yeah, I
sir.
work for a plumber.
I figured you would
There
be,
you
sir.
go.
Yeah. I
Plumber
figured.
house.
They should have called
Put in a
it.
new well, 450 feet deep.
Yeah, that's how deep mine is.
What I said, we was 208, something like that, deep down?
220,
Yeah,
221.
there we go,
Whatever it
220,
takes.
221.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, I remember that.
I
But
like
so,
it.
yeah, so everybody's happy at Marlboro, the pressure's great, and,
The
there's
cookie's
no more,
gone.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
we're gonna
no
go.
more problems over there, complaints about water pressure.
I know that
I
happened,
see
you know,
what you're
in the midst of other crises going on, so I think everybody on this committee appreciates the team and the hard
Yes.
work getting that back up and
Yeah.
running.
Yeah, it
Only
was
having
good
to
that
do a
one
fit
thing
day
was-
for Marlboro for one day,
That's
and
it.
then we got everything back under
Yeah.
control, which is, that's commendable, so.
Thank you, thank
No
you.
one's
Good
gonna
job
say
on
that
that.
now.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's it, no M words.
Enough is enough.
Exactly. You were.
I didn't say it.
Listen, I got my
And more
Snoopy,
than
I got my
so.
Snoopy cup that my boss gave me for my Christmas gift.
Perfect.
But it's a joke, it's an inside joke right there.
I know it's not on the agenda, but did we fill the sinkholes yet? I know we.
No, well, everything's approved. I'm waiting for Hildeberg. He was out there rolling my fields the other day.
He's really nice.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's
So
really
he's setting up everything. That should be done very soon. I'll get the ETA on that as well.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
thanks.
get the ETA on that as well. Yeah. He got busy because he had something, he was rolling the fields and then he had to leave because he had an emergency somewhere, so. But he's coming back on site.
We have the sinkholes, we have 2 sinkholes, we have 3 fence projects.
Yep.
Ironically, Mr. Howard and I got an email from a citizen about the eyesore at
I just saw.
at Marlboro. He was so happy to be like, oh, we got that under control.
I just saw
About the
that.
split rail fence.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
That'll be so nice to have that done.
It
It's
will,
gonna
it
look
will.
so much better.
Playground, everything, 4 or 5, it really looked nice, yes.
Mhm.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, especially with all those trees down in the front, and it's
Yes.
just gonna finish it off nicely.
Yes, I'm happy about that.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really good. And
Okay.
of course, we're keeping the kids safe, so
Yes,
that's
that's-
always
that's
good.
That too.
Yeah, that's always good. All right.
Okay, so that covers the majority of the agenda here. Any public comment? Any committee members' comments?
No,
Oh, there's no bird here, that's all.
I
that's
know.
right.
Why?
He's busy being an event.
I don't think I have anything else. We have enough going on.
Yeah.
Stay on top of things.
So you're looking for a motion to adjourn?
I am looking for that, Keith.
I'll make that motion.
Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Exactly.
There we go.
That sounds good.
I work for a plumber, somewhere I got out of high school. I grew up down lower.
You working for the same plumber?
No,
Oh, okay.
I work for a big plumber. Somewhere I got out of high school before I joined the service.